Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another album of the week. This, of course, is episode number 73. Now, this week's pick goes, of course, to the fourth studio album from Blackfoot, and that is Tomcattin, which was originally released on June 1980, though don't know what day that it was released on in June, which definitely is one of the reasons why it kept me from actually doing a proper anniversary spotlight on this album. But still, no matter what, that's not really much the point on what day that it was released, because still I am able to actually spotlight, to me, this great classic Southern rock album. Which I'll also get to some of the distinctions on when it comes to at least this style of Southern rock, which definitely seems to have more of a hard rock edge to it. So, Tomcattin, again, this was their fourth studio album, definitely following 1979's Strikes, which was definitely one of their most popular albums, and that's for sure. And I also had spotlighted that album on this channel too, actually. But now, compared to Strikes was definitely, again, was a hit album for them. Definitely also, again, commercially as well. I mean, it definitely had plenty of hits for them. I mean, besides most of the fact there was also some cover songs on that one. And again, other great tracks, of course, like Train, which even up here gets played quite a bit on the radio. But when it came to their follow-up album to Strikes, which was also their second debut on Acto Records, which was Tomcattin, apparently it wasn't very favorable to a lot of magazines and, of course, the press and even the label itself, because of the sound definitely didn't seem to have, I guess, to them, what was a hit song. However, to all the hard rockers and of course the metalheads and headbangers, especially in Europe, especially also with the new wave or British heavy metal crowd, it actually seemed to be more in their favor, because this album, I mean, just from the opening song Warped all the way to the final track Fox Chase, this is by far one of their heaviest albums, and that's for sure. This definitely, of course, due to, of course, Al Nally's production, which, instead of trying to give them a more of a AOR feel like he was kind of doing with Axe, instead, he gives them a more of again, a very cool edge, very similar to what you were kind of getting with AC/DC with Back in Black at the same year, or Heaven and Hell, or Ace of Spades from Motorhead. I mean, just to give you good ideas. It's just, it really gives them a raw, heavy, crunchy feel that, again, even though this being more Southern rock, again, Blackfoot along with Molly Hatchet were one of the two bands that really kind of mixed in that sort of heavier, very hard rock, and at times pushing on the edge of being metal, with that kind of sound, and it definitely, again, it gave them a real edge to them that definitely was accessible to the hard rock and metal crowds. That was definitely growing in the early 1980s, and this album definitely just fit right in. But again, kicking off the album with, of course, with a fast headbanging track such as Warped. Goddamn, this is one of my absolute favorite songs off this album. This is definitely, again, definitely pushing the boundaries to being almost speed metal. This is a fast, heavy rocker. and definitely, again, fits in a line with a lot of the new wave or British heavy metal crowd at this time. I mean, last week I also even kind of said the same thing for Ted Nugent's Scream Dream. Here, it's definitely the same wave, though I guess I can say it's slightly more intelligent than Ted Nugent, but at the same time, that's not to take away anything from that. Still, this is a great fucking opener, but there's still some plenty other great highlights on this album. I mean, after Warp, we get 3 other great, excellent killer rockers on here, such as On the Run, Dream On, which is another personal favorite of mine. Though for some reason, this one kind of has a bit of a late 70s Black Sabbath vibe for some reason to me. I don't know why, but it kind of does. But of course, Street Fighter, another great fucking rocker on that one. I'm actually surprised that Street Fighter wasn't also a hit. For the record label to actually complain that there was no hits on this album, I'm actually surprised I didn't see anything in the song Street Fighter. Or even, let's say, another song such as Reckless Abandoner, or Dream On, or of course, In the Night. Really? These weren't even worthy of being hit because of what the heavy production? What the fuck? These are excellent fucking tracks off this one. Actually, you know what? Actually, probably the song that could have really been the biggest hit off this one probably could have been Every Man Should Know Queenie, or their cover of Gimme Gimme Gimme. Those right there were easily were aimed at being played on the radio. So the fact that those apparently flew over the heads of the record label executives, obviously, to them, I guess a hit would be something. And since these guys are based out of Jacksonville, Florida, I guess to them would be if it was 38 Special, who were starting to flirt with being very poppy. Very clueless executives, I can tell you that. Very fucking clueless. Still, though, it shouldn't be about the hits. Again, like I just stated, songs like Warped, On the Run, Dream On, and of course Street Fighter and Reckless Abandoner are fucking excellent hard rockers. Great stuff. And of course, we do have at least a really slow, very southern bluesy-esque track on here, and that's of course the Spinning Cabbage, which is also, I've grown to definitely enjoy over the years. I've grown to actually enjoy this track. However, I am also failing to mention probably one of my other absolute favorite songs, and that's the album Ender. That's of course is Fox Chase. I mean, this definitely is probably the second inclusion, of course, when it comes to contributors to the sound. That's of course is none other than Ricky Medlock's father, Shorty Medlock, who of course it's a goofy fucking intro, but at the same time he's got a lot of personality with this one. I mean, his contribution to of course Blackfoot definitely started with of course the No Reservation album, but on Strikes, which I had spotlighted last year, it was on of course the Train intro or so, which definitely the harmonica part of that. But on here, he actually is able to actually do some spoken words on this one. Though, again, I haven't heard the first 2 albums, so I really can't really judge too much on his contributions if he's ever spoken on those 2 albums. But here, this is for me the first time I think ever hearing at least Shorty Medlock actually speak. And again, it's in the beginning of Fox Chase. Him definitely beginning to, to name off all the names of his foxes before definitely going into some harmonica boogie. Before then jumping right in to me, definitely one of the other heaviest song on this album. I mean, the way it starts off is very southern-esque, very bluesy, but by the time it actually gets into like the chorus part, then the guitar soloing, this is some straight up heavy, hard rockin' material, at times very much pushing the boundaries of also being a metal-esque track, because this is straight up heavy for this song, and what a way to end it. I mean, you when we talk about great albums, they're also very judged by the both the opening and ending track, which would be the bookend track, basically, is what we tend to at least to refer to an ending song is basically bookend songs. And that's, I think, you really get with Tomcattin. It's got a great opening and a great bookend song. Again, Warped and Fox Chase. And in the middle part, the other ones are, again, great. But the bookend songs, you have to have at least also great bookend songs to really also make a great freaking album. And Tomcattin definitely has that, again, with Fox Chase. Again, just an excellent fucking song, one of my personal favorites. So with that, 10 songs here, 40 minutes and 41 seconds. Again, this is a classic, hard Southern rock album, and that's the best way I can really summon up Blackfoot's sound. It is definitely hard, bluesy Southern rock that definitely at times pushes towards almost the proto-metal spectrum of things. This is, again, I mean, if you're for anyone that hasn't checked out Blackfoot and want an album to start with, I probably would just recommend you Tomcattin if you're definitely like the heavier stuff, or at least of the hard rock spectrum. This is definitely one you should definitely check out, and it definitely might also inspire you. You may go back and probably check out some other Southern rock bands. Though the thing is, when it comes to the Southern rock genre, it can be hit and miss, actually. Even though I enjoy this genre, but when it comes to when you get in the 1980s, it becomes very hit and miss. But Tomcattin is one of the best 80s Southern rock albums, because it definitely has that 70s feel. It's able to keep that heavy feel, but again, it rocks hard from start to finish. So with that, for all of you who definitely had heard this album, definitely let me know what your thoughts and all on so on, and definitely let me know what were your memories of first hearing this album. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. This is Heavy Thrash Head Sam out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.